Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second edition of Inside the Nest with Powerlifting. We are joined today by first-year head coach Devin Hance. Coach, thank you for taking some time out of your day.
Thanks for having me.
So we want to jump right in. You're about 4 weeks into workouts here. Kind of recap that. As we talked about last time, you've got all freshmen with the new program. Just kind of give us a rundown of the last few weeks of your first workouts.
Yeah, it's been great. So we do conjugate system. And for all you who don't really know and understand powerlifting or working out, things like that, essentially what conjugate is just variations every week. So every single day it's a different workout. They never do the same thing, 2 weeks in a row. And so they've actually loved that a lot, and they're having very good what we call gains within it. They're getting really strong. And they're actually measuring their body fat and things like that. They're losing body fat, increasing muscle mass, and they're already seeing their strengths, week by week going up just within the first month. So really excited with that. And it's expected with freshmen too, because, they're young, they're growing, things like that. But to understand, for them to see that the program is working, they're actually seeing that progress every week is exciting for them.
Absolutely. So talk a little bit about your primary focuses in your first year, or even the first season, so to speak. Like I said, you've got all freshmen building a new program. What are those things? Nobody comes into a new program and says, we're going to go win a national championship in the first year. So what are those things that you guys are focusing on in this first year?
Yeah, that's a great question. To me, it's about being better every day. We might have a few that might be able to qualify for nationals this year, maybe not. But I don't look at it as what they can do at the end of the year for nationals. Is like, how better can you get within the year from day one to day 365? And so for me, it's as long as they're keeping that short-term memory of hey, what I do last week? Okay, how do I beat last week? Or a month ago, what I do for this lift? Looking back there, and so to me, it's about that little progressions and not looking at I want to squat 405. And that takes a lot longer than what you actually realize if you're squatting 325. And so it's the little steps every single day that I look for. With freshmen, USAPL is very new. It's not really utilized in the high school setting. And so that's the organization we lift in. So there's a lot of technique and rules that they have to follow during the meets. And so teaching them that, they're also, for the most part, young lifters. So teaching them how to brace, a lot of technique within the list because we want to do it safe. First and foremost is safety for me, because I want them to live for 4 years. And so just teach them proper technique and make sure we're progressing the right way with that technique as we go.
One of the other things that you as a new coach and a new program have to build is this kind of culture. I think every coach does it a little bit differently. And with a new program, it's a blank slate. You get to really decide how this thing goes. And I know we saw on, I think, Twitter the other day, you guys posted a photo of something you do prior to practice or workouts. Can you talk a little bit about what that is, and maybe some of those other things that you do to kind of build that culture that you want to see in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So I have this book. Ron McKeefer, he's a fellow strength coach. I think he's at Fresno State now. Wrote a book, and essentially what it is he got 100 coaches who came together to write a chapter a piece. And it's a little short story, and then there's a reflection on that story. So the story has a deeper meaning. So what we do is we read one of those chapters every Saturday, and then we reflect as a team, and I'll let them share individually. So I'll share first on my side, just through experience through my life, just because I'm older with them. I've seen a little bit more than they have. And give them ideas maybe to think about, and I'll let them, sit there for a little bit. And then if they want to share their side, one that helps maybe open ideas for other teammates on the roster, whether it's with school, how they're handling pressure. We have a kid who's in our Oxbridge program right now, which is extensive for his education side of it. Stress for that and powerlifting. And so to me, the big thing, and I tell my recruits this too, is that, it's great to come in and get really strong, but I care about the next 40 years of your life. And so what can I do for your mentality, for your self-development as a person to be better and to be the best person that you can be when you graduate from Jewel? So that's kind of my philosophy as a powerlifting coach. Isn't just to get them strong, so dig more into that self-awareness and evaluate themselves on a weekly basis. And I also love to get to know my athletes. I'm a very personal coach, and so I like to know what their fears are, what's their strengths and their weaknesses in life, and so we can build on those to make them better Because like I said, to me, it's the next 40 years, and I want to have that relationship as they graduate and go through life. I want to see them grow as a person throughout life and not just these 4 years here.
Great. Well, shifting gears a little bit, you also work with our athletic performance coaches. Gage Rozier is our director of that, and then Jill Brown, our graduate assistant. But you have a large hand in that with all of our athletes, so not just powerlifting. Can you talk a little bit about what you do specifically with that, but also kind of that dynamic of being a full-time coach of a new program, but also working with a large other portion of our athletes?
Yeah, so I program for the swim team, the entire track team, which would be sprinters, distance, jumpers, and throwers, as well as men's soccer. So, there's challenges that come with it. I have a full slate on my hands, but it's nothing that I can't handle. I love working with athletes, so the more I get to be a part of, and to me, it's all about changing the lives. And so that's more lives I can help change and grow through my experiences for them. So a program, I help Gage out there, program for those teams, running those teams during the mornings. So, I get some long days, and then you add recruiting on top of that as we grow the program, and then my powerlifting workouts. But it's not too bad. I really enjoy it. It's really fun. I'm the type of person who doesn't like to sit around, not have anything to do. So there's always something for me to do, whether it's researching for powerlifting, for programming wise, or for men's soccer, trying to reach injuries with that. So I always have stuff to do. And the coaches are really good. They understand that I have a lot more on my plate than most people would if they're just a regular coach. So they do a really good job of making sure they help me out when I need help and things like that. And then keep my family my priority too. You hear, especially with the older generation, they put too much into their coaching career, not enough time in the family. Obviously I'm young. We just actually had our 3-year anniversary yesterday. So we got a 18-month-old son, and we're expecting our second in January. So understanding that, I need to do everything I can for my athletes, but I also need to do everything I can for my family to put them first.
Definitely. Well, first, congratulations. Hadn't heard that. I think we'll have, I think 2 or 3 coming in our department in the next semester. So that's very exciting, and happy anniversary. But appreciate you taking some time out of your day to talk a little powerlifting with us. We'll see you again in just a few weeks as we get ready for your first meet.
Awesome. Thank you.